Thank you so much for joining us for the ExCo Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Meredith, also with my husband,
Hello,
Herschel Irvin. Today is our 4th episode, and I'm so lucky that I get to interview Nicole Misero, the beautiful Nicole. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
So Nicole, first question.
Yes.
Tell me why you chose to become a hairdresser.
Okay, so I'll give it to you like for real. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
just give me
sugarcoat it.
give me your honest.
I didn't want to be a hairdresser.
Okay.
I wanted to be an architect.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
when I was in high school, I hated high school. I hated school, period.
So did I.
So I had to go to VOTEC, and they were like, listen, you have to go to VOTEC in order to like graduate. And I was like, fine, whatever, I'll go to VOTEC. I was like, but I want to be in the CAD program because I want to be an architect. They're like, well, there's no room in the CAD program. I was like, well, fine, then I'll just go be a hairdresser. So
How long ago was that? Like, how long have you been doing hair?
So I was washing hair when I was 14.
Okay.
But I was in the salon atmosphere,
Right.
but there was a stereotype. It was just, I just didn't want to be that.
Yeah, because hairdressers don't make money.
Right. And
Yeah.
we're just hairdressers.
Right.
So I was, and then I got into the program and I did really well. And then I transferred out because I didn't have all my hours.
Okay.
For just the 1 year. So I transferred to Allentown School of Cosmetology and I finished there within a couple months. And then we had a competition for like a haircutting competition or something like that. And I had like 2 salons approach me and offer me jobs. And I went with one.
Okay.
And,
How many, my next question was, how many salons have you been at? I mean, first of all, how many years have you been a hairdresser? I'm not trying to age you or anything, but
26.
Okay, so you're experienced.
Yeah.
And you are, you know your shit.
Yeah.
I know Nicole because she works at Elite Salons and Suites. Your salon is called The Edit.
The Edit, yeah.
How did you meet Olivia? Olivia works for you, right?
So I met Olivia. I gave Olivia her first haircut
Okay.
at the salon that I worked at previous.
Okay.
And then she worked at the previous salon that we were at before. And
Her hair is amazing. Like, that's not even
it's like,
fair.
no.
It's not
she's
fair.
like a lioness hair.
Yeah, she's seriously like a unicorn. It's
I know.
not fair.
So and she worked there with me, and she was actually looking at other salons to transfer to. She had gotten her New Jersey license because there was a salon in New Jersey that she was really interested in. She interviewed well there. And when I was departing, I was on a mission just to, be my own unicorn,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want a box. I didn't want a team. I didn't want rules. I didn't want guidelines. I just wanted to branch out and just breathe.
Right.
Yeah. And leave all the other shit behind that comes with being in a salon. Like,
the drama,
yeah.
toxicity.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of that?
Or
was there any of that?
Not in the beginning, but I think more towards the end. I just think that you reach a time in your career where you hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
And some people are comfortable with ceilings,
Right.
and some people are not.
Right.
And I think sometimes in life, like you're like, okay, I've hit the ceiling, and I'm kind of cool right now. It's like working for me. I can deal with it. But then when you get to a point where you're like, oh, I can't deal with this ceiling anymore. Like I just need to like break
There's
out.
more
I need
out
to
there.
breathe. Like I have so much more like inside to give, and I just felt capped with like a menu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Were you able to do your own services there, or you had to follow like the
I was-
salon's rules?
No,
and-
I mean you could definitely say I did not do perms. I did not do
Right.
Brazilian blowouts. I don't
Right.
do any of those things.
like no keratins, none of that.
No, I don't do
Okay.
any of the keratins. When they came out, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So, and there was so much controversy over
the
the
formaldehyde.
formaldehyde and stuff like that. So it wasn't something that I was going to do.
Yeah.
And then I had a really good friend in Florida that's all she did was Brazilian blowouts and keratin
Mm-hmm.
complex. And she ended up having to stop it altogether because she was just she was coughing up blood. I'm like,
Wow.
Sorry,
So I
not
have an
doing
air
it.
purifier, and I also wear an N95 mask. Do
yeah,
you think
I mean,
that's
it's
good enough?
it's like serious.
Or should I just like stop altogether?
I mean, I feel strongly about not doing it.
Even with the air
Yeah,
purifier
I mean,
and the
why
N95?
would you have to go through that to
I
offer a service? I just think
know.
that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Why can't they find like a formaldehyde-free one?
They do have a couple of them,
Like, there
but
was,
I
like,
don't know
one,
how
yeah.
effective they are. You
Right.
know what I mean? We do use one. We use the Aura, and it gives us great results, but it's not, the glass
I guess I should take
result
that
here.
off my menu.
I mean, it is. I mean, a lot of people love it, and there's service providers that don't mind it, but I'm just pretty firm on that one.
Right.
Like
I love taking off the mask and I look like I have like lines all
like
over
a
my
suction
face.
cup on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
So I want to jump back a little bit here.
Yeah.
You were talking about when you were working at a salon and different things that you were going through.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be young aspiring stylists that are coming out that
Absolutely.
from school, and they're going to either want to jump into owning their own salons or possibly going to work for a salon somewhere. And my question to you is what led you to become a salon owner? And then also for the young aspiring stylists, what could you say to them to help them, along in their career? Do you think that's something that they should jump into as far as owning their own salon, or maybe working for a salon to get the experience?
Definitely think
Two
like
questions, by the way.
straight out of the box, like when you graduate from beauty school, I definitely think it's good to get either behind someone that is a salon owner or a suite owner or somebody that has a strong drive and that has quite a large service menu. Okay, because when you come out of school, you're so fresh. You don't know anything. It's like you get onto the salon floor and you just realize that you just learned a textbook, like not real life. Like, okay,
You learn a lot of it in this salon.
So there's so many like real life situations and niches that you don't realize that are out there that they don't really teach you in school. So I definitely think that out of school you should definitely work in a salon behind somebody, even if you're shadowing.
Sure.
Just a salon owner, to say, like, if you brought in somebody to shadow you. And then I think once you know your menu and you know your loves and your not loves, what you're passionate about,
Sure.
where you thrive. Because, I mean, I think a lot of people, like, lie to themselves about where they thrive. And I know that's probably a shitty thing to say.
That's interesting.
But it's very true.
It is true. I agree.
It's very true. And it's like...
that false sense of confidence.
And I think, and it also hurt, like, I really, like, look into that because of the extension menus. I'm certified to do a lot of different extensions, but I don't love all the
I
extensions.
know you don't. Tell us what your favorite extension method is.
Okay. So I'm a keratin queen.
Yes, you are. Not a keratin smoothing treatment.
A keratin bond
A
queen.
keratin
Yes.
bond queen.
And I've been doing keratin bonds since 2008.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so I've very much perfected my craft. And I feel like, people have this thing about, like, oh, they just want to offer it because it's money. But it's not about the money to offer it. It's about
Right.
the end result. It's about the integrity, the
Right.
preservation, the client. Like, the client's dollar, that's a lot of money for them to spend.
Very much.
And it's not okay to just be like, oh, I'm just going to do this because it's so cool and it'll put a lot of money in my pocket. Because then that's giving me a bad name when you do a shit job.
I completely understand. It drives me insane when I
Yeah.
go on the forums and I look at the scale. Oh my
Oh
god,
my God, it's horrible.
It is
It's
horrible.
like, it's literally like I say to Olivia, I'm like, I was like, I just have to take a breath.
She does your hair, right?
She does.
She does a great job.
So I've trained her. I trained her for a year
Right.
because it's just not something that you
You cannot
can't-
mess around with.
Yeah,
I'll
the
tell you-
keratins you just can't pick up and do.
I'll tell you
have
what,
to
Nicole.
perfect it.
I was traumatized about 15 I don't even know, 15 years ago when I worked at a salon, and the owner took a keratin bond class, and she installed like over 500 bonds in my hair, and I was completely traumatized. I do want to change my mindset on it.
Yeah.
But because I know that it's like any extension method could cause damage if done incorrectly, right?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
anyone.
Anything.
And so if you're getting it done the right way, I mean, Jordan is a perfect example. She does my extensions and I talked to her about it, and she loves the way that you do her keratin bond extensions. But that's a great point. Like the person that did my hair completely destroyed my hair, and
So,
from
and it
that,
gave you a bad taste.
yeah, from that point on, I was like so turned off.
Yeah.
Like so turned off. I'm certified in doing it. Just because I'm certified doesn't mean that I'm confident in doing it.
Right. Just like with me, it's like I'm certified to do wefts, but I don't do them.
Right.
I can do them. If somebody needed me to like
Right.
step in and help out, I
Same
could do
with
it.
the keratin.
But I
Right.
just, my passion's not there, you
Yeah.
know?
So as far as you becoming a salon owner, right? You said that you hit like the ceiling, right, working
did,
for a salon. What was that like when you hit the ceiling? What was that feeling like? Because you were obviously working at a salon and you had this feeling of like, okay, am I maxing out? Are you looking at it like it's a toxic environment, or you want to make money for yourself? Like what led you to become your own salon owner?
So it was funny. COVID. It like, it made you really take a step back and reevaluate.
Because you did your salon shut down?
Yeah.
Same.
So
for
so
4
we
months.
we shut down and we went back to work in June, and I think me stepping away from the you
hustle.
get the hamster wheel environment.
Yes.
Like you just like it's Groundhog Day. Well,
Yes.
great. And you become comfortable, and then when you remove yourself from that, well, we were all forced to remove ourselves from it.
Right.
And you just, things change, and I just didn't like when I walked back in on June 26th or somewhere around there. I had anxiety, and it was like I was anxious. No, and it wasn't anxious like, oh, I can't wait to get back to work. I was anxious about having to like reconnect with the disconnection that I made.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So it's like I kind of like disconnected.
Like almost like you didn't know how to be yourself again in that environment?
It was just like, why am I doing this? And I was just kind of going through the motions for a bit, I was a single mom. I was in a new relationship. You need to pay the bills. You need, you need all of that. Like you need stability,
Right.
so on and so forth. And I was just, I just got into that groove, and then I sold my house in 2020. Mike and I moved to Hellertown. I moved in with him in Hellertown, and then I was in Hellertown. I remember this, and he was like, "You should really check out." I saw like this sign at the promenade. It's about like the suites or something like that. And he was like, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll check it out." And I just kind of ignored it for a while. And then we had moved to Coopersburg. We had our house built, and we moved in June of 21. And he's like, "You should really look into that. You should really look into that." Because what happened is I was forming relationships with clients like out of the salon because of COVID.
Right.
And I had...
Were these clients that you already had?
Yeah.
Okay.
But those clients were different because it was just me and them.
Right.
It was different. It was very weird.
Like they turned into a friend.
They turned into like a friend and like more open.
Right.
We had deeper conversations.
People love you. People love you. They do. Like just like because the Lehigh Valley, you have to like it's how do I want to say, it's not cliquey, but it's good to be known in the Lehigh Valley, right? It's good to be known in social media. Like when I go on social media platforms, like people are throwing you and Olivia's name out. Like go see Olivia, go see Nicole. Like they're great, the edit. And I could tell that you worked really hard for your reputation.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I definitely have.
Yeah.
And with her, it's like I wanted her not to feel like she had a box around her.
Right.
I didn't want her to feel like she couldn't say...
Like you felt.
Yeah. I didn't want her to feel like, hey, Nicole, like, I really want to do this. Like, do you think it's awesome? Now, where I was before, she'd be like, yeah, I think it's awesome. But, you know, it's more
I had no
awesome
idea where you were, by the
when
way.
you had a team to say it was awesome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, like, you know, when I first got certified in extensions, I had one of the other stylists say, well, why would you even bother doing that? No one's going to pay for that.
Interesting. Yeah, that
I'm
money
like, no
mindset.
one will pay for anything that you don't give value to.
Exactly.
No
like
one's
if
going
you
to
don't
pay
think
for
you're
anything
nobody
that
is
you
gonna
don't give value to.
Absolutely.
Do you know? And like, they don't pay for things that, you know, you could sell ice to an Eskimo.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
come on.
I know somebody in my family that is a very, very, very good salesperson, and I say like she can put dog shit on a plate and sell it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, but you also have to, you know,
Believe in it.
You have to believe in it. You have
Right.
to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the execution.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe in the relationship. You have to.
It's passion.
Yeah, you have to believe from start to finish
Mm-hmm.
that that's, you know, where you're going to end up.
Have you taught before?
I have. I taught when I went to go certified in 2008 in New York. I did a 3-day certification with Great Lengths, and I was recognized in the class by one of the educators, and she pulled me aside. She said, "Hey, I think that you would be a great addition to our team." I worked for them from 2009 to 2014.
Okay.
And I educated all across the United States.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. And then I left that company.
Did you like it?
I did. I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it.
And were you teaching all?
I was teaching just keratin. I was
Okay.
teaching a thermal and cold fusion.
Okay.
Both. And then another company approached me in 2014 and offered me a national educator position, like to be the head of education.
That's amazing.
So I took that.
That's
and
amazing.
Then Company A had a non-compete with Company B, and then they
Right.
shut them down.
Okay.
But and I mean, everything happens, you know, for a reason. But with Company B, I met some incredible people.
Right.
They flew me to Ireland. I studied in Ireland with the different teams over there.
That's amazing.
I was all over the East Coast. I was in California. I made some really great relationships with that company.
Yeah.
And even though it was short-lived, I worked alongside of Chris Dillon, Jamie Garland,
That's amazing.
Greta Monahan, Ricky Golden.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well, we want to make sure, like the young aspiring stylists coming out, like they're learning. And one thing I'm thinking of is, because you have some experience, is, you know, when in the time that we live in now, right? There's a lot of stylists that are trying to do more with their work ethic, as far
Right.
as in content, you know, just putting stuff out there. Do you see, when you're on social media, a lot of stylists, what's like the pros and cons of what you see? Because you can look at something like, yeah, they're good, and like, no, they're not good. Like, what are some of the things that you see, and maybe something that could help, you know, some of the younger, you know, up and aspiring stylists coming out?
So that's a tough one, because there's so much out there. There's just layers and layers and layers.
I mean, can you tell, like, if someone's being like lazy with their work?
Oh
or,
my God, yes. It makes me rage.
Yeah.
Rage. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my, please, like, don't ever offer that to anybody. Like, if you need help, call me. I will help you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I've done private education too. So it's, you
That
know.
was my next question.
Yeah.
You should like do, you know, to get passive, not saying that you should or shouldn't, but like, have you ever thought of doing like your own online course creation or?
I can do online. I feel like I'm a better in-person
Okay.
person,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, you know, like
You should do that.
like to
The
form
edit.
the relationship, and then, you know,
Yes.
and then have like, I want you to, I feel like, you know, there's so many
Can you
online.
teach me?
Absolutely. I feel like there's so many online courses, and online is great if you are that type of a learner.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Not everybody can go online and be like, oh, yes, that clicks. I get it. You know,
Sure.
unless you are a person with that type of like a visual.
I'm an in-person.
So I'm a very visual
Hands-on.
person.
Yeah.
So it's like I can see something and then recreate it.
Right.
But if I get stuck, then I won't go back to it.
Right.
So that's the biggest part, you know, with, you know, I feel like there's so much out there in social media. Some of it is fantastic and some of it is horrendous. There's everything in between.
Right.
But what we want is, you know, we have to realize that it's just the general public sees that too, and they don't know the difference, you know?
Right.
They're like, well, I saw this girl doing it. It looks so good. And really, like, you know, from a professional standpoint,
It looks horrible.
It looks horrendous. And you're just like, please, God, no, don't let her touch you, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I feel like there definitely has to be more control over that part of, you know, our specialty services,
I agree.
you know?
I agree.
Because a specialty service is that. It's a luxury.
I know.
You know, it's not like a haircut,
No,
you know?
it's not, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I've spent thousands of dollars on the extra education
Yeah, it's
alone.
crazy, isn't
So, well, yeah, because you want to offer the best, and it's a what is the word I'm looking for? I'm having a brain fart. It's a high-risk service.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a high-risk service.
Definitely.
You're using a very hot tool next to their head. You can cause traction alopecia, you know, ripping out the follicle, like just
Absolutely.
so many things that could happen.
Yeah, and there's just so much information too to give to the client. So if I ever when I have a new client come in for, you know, keratin, I always like, you know, you're with them for, you know, 3-4 hours. So you're like, hey, you know, you talk about everything, you talk about what you're doing, you talk about the importance of the brushing, the aftercare, the hair care, you know, all of it. So it's like, I feel like after 3 hours of that, you heard it, you know.
Yeah.
And then you get like, you know, a text reminder of like, hey, this is, you know,
Right.
your do's and your don'ts. I think, you know, you seal the deal. But it's not just, you know, hey, sit down, you know, let me throw some hair in.
Let me throw this in
Let
you
me
really
throw
quick.
some hair in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
no.
I have another question.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
you have your own business.
Yes.
You have employees working for
Just
you.
one.
You're a wife. I assume you're married. You're a wife, and also you
Well,
have
don't assume, babe.
children. I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm, you know, this is
I'm not married, but
Okay.
we're, you know, together.
all right.
Engaged,
So
whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
my question is, with all the people that sit in your seat at your
Yes.
salon,
Yes.
right, and then you have your other life that you manage, how do you do it all? Because I assume with the many human beings that sit in the chair, you're like a counselor too, right? So
Correct.
how do you do it all? How do you manage it all?
Like you and
And-
Jordan making that video.
And how do you decompress? Like what's your go-to for decompression at the end of your day?
So at the end of my day, I just go to bed. I'm
Do you smoke too? Because we got some smokers on this show. I'm just saying.
I do not. No,
Okay.
I'm more of a person that needs to be in control of myself, like
You
all
work
the
out,
time.
though.
Yeah.
Like, you-
So my decompression is working out. So
Okay.
I get up in the morning and I work out every morning, whether I lift or if I walk. I do something that concerns movement. It kind of gets my mind in the right spot.
Sure.
And
You're
it just
like that.
feel better about myself, you know. So if I have that out of the way, and then you know I go into the salon, I get the room ready, I look at my day, know if I screwed myself yet or not. You know, you're like, oh boy, I really did a
I
number on myself
overbooked
today.
myself.
And then you know, you form all of those relationships throughout the day,
Right.
and I go home. I always give Mike a kiss when I walk through the door, say hey to Mason when he's usually upstairs in his room, and I talk a little bit, but I get in my ugly
PJs?
clothes, my
Yes.
ugly
Oh my
pajamas,
gosh, she
like
calls-
my homeless looking girl outfit.
That's
That's
what
a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
As soon as you get home, like, where's the bedroom? I gotta change out these clothes.
Everything comes off, and you're
Yeah.
just like,
Like
Yeah,
that's crazy.
he's like, why you always wear that grandma? That grandma.
No, I
thing.
don't.
just feels so
the
good,
moo
though.
whatever that's called,
Yeah.
the moo. I'm like,
yeah. I usually
I'm
have
like, girl,
like,
put the moo on or something.
Well, because if I'm walking around and something, he's like,
yeah. I'm like, no, I don't want to look attractive right now.
let me go and put the moo on.
Yeah. No, I usually like I had these sweatpants forever, right? And Mike's like, they are so disgusting.
That's
I'm like, but I
amazing.
love them.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
he's like, and so I finally threw them away. They had to go in the trash.
So you like dealing with your clients, or not dealing, servicing your clients,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I'm sure, because I know for Meredith, she has, her clients, when they sit in the chair, they can't wait to sit in the chair, and then
Yes.
everything just goes out.
Yes.
They're
like,
just putting so much out there,
yeah.
and
It's like vomit.
right, it's like vomit, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying, like, you take all that on, right? And you go home, and it's just like, you're saying hi to everybody, and then you get in bed. Do you do you feel that energy still, like when you're?
I try to decompress a lot, like throughout the day. Like, sometimes you'll see me take deep breaths
I
and
do the
like
same
sigh
thing.
and like kind of like take a lap, take a lap,
Yes.
and yeah. Other than that, sometimes I'll go home and have a glass of wine. When it's nice out in the summertime, we
Sure.
like to take the dogs around like the circle, like where we live.
Yeah.
Your
and
dog is
just
so
like
beautiful.
and
oh my God.
thank you.
Seriously, your dog has
We
eyes
have
like
two.
you. Oh, do they both look like that?
No, similar. One's light colored and one's dark colored.
Okay, what kind of dogs do you have?
Oh, we have two Goberians. One is a golden doodle and a Siberian Husky, and the other one is a Siberian Husky and a golden retriever.
Which one is the one I met?
The white one?
Yes.
The golden doodle. Her name's Star.
She does not look like a golden doodle at all.
Yeah, she's a doodle and a retriever. They both came from the same breeder in Colorado.
She looks like
Yeah.
a husky mix or something.
Yeah, the Siberian Husky and the golden doodle
Is
together.
that what you, okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
She's so beautiful. And
Yeah.
she's so sweet.
She is a sweet girl.
I'll let you take over. I mean, I have a lot of questions. I mean, I'll let you take over if you have some more questions for her.
Of course I have questions.
But while she's looking, like, I'm kind of interested. I mean,
Go ahead.
because you've been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah.
So now, like, I want to know, like, what are some of the having clients sit in the chair, what is the greatest reaction that you've gotten from a client? Like, they obviously come in and they look a certain way,
Yeah.
and then after the after effect, there's this reaction that you get. Is there that moment in your career that really stuck out to you, or are they all about the same?
No, I mean, I've had quite a few major reactions, and usually it's with the extensions or
The transformation.
the transformation. Really, I've had cancer patients sit in my chair and just the tears.
yeah. Do you
and
cry with them?
I do. Yeah, it's really hard not to.
I know.
It's like kind of like really gets you. Just
know.
that, and you don't realize, I think until that moment, those moments that get you, you don't realize how important that service is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I get so pissed when people just offer shit that they're just not good at.
I agree.
Just for the dollars.
Right.
For the money content of it.
Yeah, extensions are expensive.
Yeah, and I just, because it's more about the 20-some-year-old girl that wants hair for her content. You know what I mean?
That drives me
It's
nuts.
It's more than that for me. You know what I mean?
I can tell.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more than
Just
that
because,
for
like,
me.
when your clients, so, like, when you're in the middle of doing the install and then some of your clients have to go to the bathroom, so they
like,
get
"Oh,
up
yeah,
and I
go
can,
ahead."
well, no, I
Yeah.
can see,
Oh, yes,
like,
yeah.
I could see the difference, like, of
Yes.
their lengths of hair. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's, like, a huge transformation.
Yeah, a lot of
Humongous.
them are really big transformations, and it's and I'm like I look at, like, I say to myself in the morning a lot, and I'm like, because you do feel overworked and you do feel kind of like, ran down a bit every here and there, and you're just like, you're the only one that can do what you do.
Yes, there's not another
You know
Nicole
what I mean?
Misero
You're the only one that
will have the same conversations, the same presence.
you're the
same-
only you.
Absolutely. You say that to me, too.
Yeah,
so,
you're the only
yeah.
you. So it's like, come on, girl, let's go.
When are you and Mike get
Giddy up.
married?
Well, we're not, I don't think, ever. I mean, maybe we will one day when
Okay.
we're like older, but
Okay.
we don't have any plans.
Okay.
Our relationship is extremely seamless.
Yeah.
This is probably the only time in my life, in my love life, that I have felt so much at peace with a partner.
Does that have anything to do with you yourself, or does it have to do with just like the right time or just the right person or all of the
No,
above?
I think like after my second divorce, I kind of went inward big time.
Yeah.
And I disconnected myself from a lot.
Yeah.
Like I disconnected from a lot of people, a lot of just surroundings, a lot of habits, and I did yoga like a crazy person.
Yeah, I love yoga.
For I don't even know how until the shutdown, until I couldn't do yoga anymore. And
did you do hot yoga?
I did, yeah. Just sweat the demons out.
I know, I love it.
So like just sweat out all the bad shit.
Yeah.
Like and just like literally down to like my veins.
Yeah.
You know, and then I actually traveled with that too. I went to Acapulco and did yoga in Acapulco.
Oh my God, you're so cool.
I do whatever, you know, it's just like I just go. And then I wasn't looking for a relationship at all, and Mike had messaged me online.
Did he slide
Slid
up
in them
into your
DMs.
DMs?
Sure did.
Oh my
I see you,
God.
girl. He was like, I see you, girl. Let me slide in these
That
DMs.
is so funny.
This is hysterical. Like we still crack
So
up
let me.
laughing
What
about it.
was the line? What was the line?
I don't even really know. It was.
Was it just like, hey, or
It was. I mean, I could probably look it up for you.
you still have it?
I think
wow,
I do.
that's cool.
Yeah. I don't really exactly remember what he said, but I was on a plane with Mason. We were going to the Cayman Islands, and
Mason is your son?
Yes, Mason's. He's 13, my 13-year-old son, and we were flying to the Cayman Islands, and I had posted a picture of the two of us on this airplane, and he had friend requested me like in April, and this was in May. But he friend requested me, he had a picture of a girl in his thing, so I was like, well, whatever, you know. He was a mutual friend to some people I knew, so it wasn't a
He has
thing.
a
lot of friends. Yeah,
I mean,
he knows
I don't
a lot
even
of people.
personally know him, but I was like, he's on my Facebook, I think, because of the industry and my dad and all that stuff.
Yeah, he knows a lot of people.
Yes.
So he had messaged me, and he's like, oh, where are you going?
Just out the blue?
Yeah.
Just saying, hey,
just
where
like,
are you
hey,
going?
Where are you going? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or something like that. And I was like, oh,
Cayman
Cayman Islands, you know.
So you obviously thought he was cute, right? Because you gave him a response. I mean, surely there was other guys that slid up in your DMs. You're probably ignoring it, but this guy.
Yeah, I mean,
slides
I talked to him a little bit, and then, you know, whatever, here and there, he would just, like, reach out. And then we talked probably like that for, like, a week or two or something like that. And then I gave him my phone number, and then we were texting. And then one night he was like, we should, you know, meet up. And I was like, well, I can meet you on Tuesday because I don't have Mason. I was like, and I'm getting out of work like a little bit early. So I met him at the 1818 Tavern for a drink. And I got out of my car, and he's like, wow, you're really short.
Throwing shade already, man.
And I forgot my wallet. So
As you should. That was a setup, by the way. She forgot her wallet on purpose, just to see if you would pay, and obviously you did.
I know we already went over. Okay, so tell me what your plans are for the edit.
Oh, okay. So, I'm trying to figure that out, to tell you the truth, because I feel like I'm at a point where my back is against the wall right now because I'm so busy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really do have to kind of sit down and figure out, like, how I can service, you know, more people.
Your husband's a realtor, right? Or he's a realtor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're both in.
Does he do commercial real estate?
He does some commercial,
Okay.
most residential.
Okay.
But we're both people that are, you know, self-aspired.
Right.
You know, it's like
You're
you
never
have to hustle.
Exactly.
You know, you cannot sit at home and
Be dormant.
be dormant.
Right.
No, because it doesn't come to you that way.
Right.
You know, so it's like, you know, about building relationships and, you know, and
Well, obviously, if you want to have, you know, a comfortable life, especially
correct.
with
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean, obviously
prices out
that's like
there.
the best part about it, you know, is, you know, we do live a very comfortable life. We're very blessed that way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that I don't take for granted because there's, you know, times before that I just struggled. You know, you're just like, you open up your bank account and you're just like, okay, that's covered, that's covered, that's covered. Okay, we got to figure that out. And then.
But you
know,
worked for it.
But I worked for it. I worked
Yeah.
my ass off.
Yeah.
You know,
You
and I'm
put
still
in-
working my ass off.
Well, you put in what
know.
you get out, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, you get out what you put in. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. You know, and it's just, you know, we always try to have like at least a couple date nights a month, just the two of us together.
That's good.
we have our couch time together. We'll sit down. I know we sound like old people.
No, I love that.
But it's, I
couch
think,
time.
you know, it's the connection.
Yeah.
And we always are trying to strive to, like, have the connection.
Yeah.
To keep the connection. To stay on each other's radars all the time.
I mean, you guys are both, you make a beautiful couple.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
both clean up
and,
very well.
And vacations at least once a year.
Yeah.
Like-
That's so important.
Like,
Just you and him, right?
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like vacation where we go out, we're together, we reconnect, like, you know,
Yes.
whatever we lost throughout the year.
Yep.
We meet new people, and we just have fun. Like it's like nobody's there to watch.
Right.
Nobody's there to judge you.
Right.
Nobody freaking knows. You're never going to see these freaking
I
people
know.
ever again in your life. So let your damn hair down.
Yeah.
Leave your ass hang out.
Yes.
And let's go.
Yeah.
Get the
Do you
drink.
bring the sweatpants with you when you go on vacation? Or do you? I'm just saying.
At least a t-shirt. One of the t-shirts, though, you know, because you
Yeah.
got to get ready. And sometimes when you put, like, the lotion on, you don't want to get the lotion in your hair. So you got to do a t-shirt.
Kiki was saying that, and for, you know, you stylists that are in relationships, like, you know, and I agree with you, by the way, that it takes work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy, right, in relationships. Like, obviously, you two have to meet at a certain place in your life.
Absolutely.
And both of you guys should help elevate one another to your higher selves. So you have to be able to work your relationships and stay on the grind, right?
Correct,
And
yeah.
it always takes two, right? So if you feel like you're working your field and the other one's not working, it's because something's going on that you need to work on, right? So
Yeah, I definitely think communication is, like, the biggest part of
Huge.
it is huge. And making time. A lot of people don't make time anymore.
Right.
You know, which is sad,
I know.
you know.
The hustle and bustle of life gets in the way. and-
Yeah, and it's like they're the one things that I look forward to so much every week is the time, is like my downtime. Because I'll always say to them, like, okay, when's your last showing on Saturday? When's your last showing on Sunday?
Right.
Like, and I'm big on dinners.
Yeah.
We get together for dinner on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday is a family dinner day.
Oh, I love that.
So I throw down in the kitchen, everybody comes.
I love that.
So it's either like
when you say everybody comes, like, what do you
It's-
mean by everybody?
we
'Cause
usually
I'm
have
about to
like
throw the
friends and
invitation.
everything. Like,
Oh, okay.
you know,
All right.
yeah. I mean,
I love that.
yeah. I always we'll cook
like
a big Sunday dinner, and
What time's dinner, though? Because I go to bed early.
it's usually like 5:36.
Okay, we can probably
Yeah,
work that out.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, this
No,
podcast.
I'm saying what we can, like, you know, go.
No, I know. I mean, thank you for inviting us to Nikki's house.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, she's mentioned something, so I'm just.
I mean, I hope you guys like, you know, Italian food.
Oh.
I love Italian food.
Perfect.
Do you make your own gravy?
I do not.
Okay.
No, but
What's the name that we like?
the pasta that I make that everybody comes for does not have gravy.
What is it?
It's cooked in red wine,
Oh my God.
and then the sauce.
That's why Mike loves you.
And the sauce is it's butter, pancetta,
Oh my God.
regot,
Oh my God.
all tossed together in the pasta, a little parm on the top,
That sounds amazing.
and then I make my own Italian chicken fingers to go with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I'm hungry.
That's amazing. I am
so
too.
good. It's like if I say I'm making drunken pasta, everyone's like, "What time?"
There you go.
Let me know the
Okay.
next time you do.
Okay,
Well,
I'll
she
bring
said
your
every
it's
Sunday.
amazing.
I'll bring your favorite wine.
That's perfect.
Okay.
We won't cook with that though. We drink with that.
Okay. No, yeah.
Yeah, we cook with the cheap stuff.
Tell me what your greatest accomplishment is. And it doesn't have to be with work.
My greatest accomplishment is, let's see. I want to. The very first thing that popped into my head was Mason,
Yeah.
because, you know, raising a boy, and with, you know, parents that are not together, and then having him turn out to be such a respectable young man.
Yeah, you're like, I'll whoop your ass if you're not.
Correct. And same with his dad, would do the same exact thing. And he is like, and, you know, I get messages like somebody had saw a neighbor of ours saw him last week at the coffee and cars. And he said, listen, I just have to tell you. He's like, I went over and I was talking to Mason. He's just such a respectable young man. He was so kind to me. he kept me engaged in the conversation. He laughed at my jokes, and then he was at a friend's house last weekend and he said, please and thank you. He was very appreciative. And, and at home, sometimes you question them. They're like, okay, I hope you're, like, not a douchebag or an idiot out, like, in public. You know what I mean? Because, here, they're so much more relaxed, you know?
Right.
But, to get those messages, you're like, okay, we're doing a good job. 13.
13? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, things are starting to get a little rocky.
That's when
we're going on a ride now.
That's when they get a little gross.
8th grade, 9th grade?
7th.
7th grade.
Yeah, so he'll go into 8th next year.
Okay.
But, I mean, he's funny. I mean, he keeps me on my toes. He's my broke best friend.
Broke best friend.
He's my broke best friend.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, does he play any sports or anything?
He does not. He's really into his bicycle right now. So he's into, like, this.
But doesn't he race?
He does go-kart racing yeah, he raced today. So he does go-kart racing. He really loves that. We're trying to look into different avenues to kind of get him into that a little bit more, you know, other than just at, like, the Lehigh Valley racetrack. But he's also into this SE bike culture. Mm-hmm. And he really has made a lot of new friends in the Valley and around the Valley. And it's a lot on, us as parents, just because he's like, can you take me to this ride out? Can you take me here? Can you take me there? And, we were in, like, Philly last month, and I'm like, dude, where do you have me going in Philly?
Yeah.
Because, like,
looks a little sketch.
Just like, I'm just your mom, and I'm in the car.
No, you're the broke best friend. That's what you are.
Like,
well, she's not the broke best friend.
No, he's the broke best friend.
That's
right.
And I'm like, we're in the car, and, you're not taking me some, like ghetto-ass area, like, where I might need to,
don't
like...
have a gun, yeah.
Like, hide in my car. Or, like, no one's here.
Help me!
Yeah. No, but he's interesting. It's like he's gotten into a lot of different things, and he stays active. He's constantly on the go.
Yeah.
We're constantly tracking him down, trying to figure out where he is, But
does he have a tracker on his phone?
my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to. I mean, that's how
you're in control.
That's how I figured out how to pick him up the one time, because I had to track him on his phone to get him.
Okay.
He was in Caddy.
Okay.
On a ride out. He was on his bicycle, going from Allentown to Caddy.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, they go far. They go all over the place.
It's a good workout.
Yeah. And
That's
he's
amazing.
like,
Congratulations, by the way, because, you're beating the odds, single mom, raising a boy.
Raising a boy.
And for him to be level-headed like he is, to have that desire to stay active.
But his dad is good with him too,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
That's good.
Yeah, so
he has
co-parenting is
3 really good role models right now, you know. So it's like 3.
You, Mike, and his dad.
Yeah. He has 3 very good role models right now, which I'm really happy for. And we all have, like, really great relationships with each other.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Which is great. And, like,
That's important for him.
It is. It's very important for him. And I just think, there's so much animosity and so many other things. It's like, it's...
No reason to...
Yeah, it's hard enough.
Right.
It really is. It's so hard. So it's so nice when it can just be easy once in a while.
Yeah. That's so important.
Yeah.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in God, yes.
Okay.
I don't go to church.
No, that your relationship with God doesn't have to mean that you
correct,
go.
Yeah. But yes, I do believe. I believe that there's a higher power of spirit.
Yeah.
That, that I like to say can grace us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find like a lot of stylists are very spiritual. Like there's like some form of like spirituality.
How do you know so many
guys have.
stylists?
Oh.
I think a lot of it too is just us learning how to breathe and take breath work and meditation and you learn how to be okay with just yourself. You know what I mean? And I think you realize that the nights when you get in your car and you are like, and it's just you and the car. And then sometimes you don't know how you got home because you're driving the car.
Right.
Tunnel vision.
But you're like in some meditative like place in your head where you're just like you're not thinking about your day. You're leaving your day washed from your brain to your feet.
Yeah, you're just numbing yourself. You're just like releasing
So
it
it's
all.
like, so I guess the longer your drive home is, the better, but,
Your drive isn't that far. You're
No,
in
it's only like
Coopersburg.
11 minutes.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so lucky.
Yeah.
And it sounds like
Mine's
you've
like
been through
20.
some stuff in your life, and you had some really like experiences, whether they're good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been like a humbling experience, and I'm wondering, like, you're saying you have faith in God. Is that what helped you to, be more spiritual or to have that connection with a higher power?
I think I had to find the connection in myself first to be able to know that it's not about worshiping God. I feel like it's more about finding your self-worship. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to go internally to be able to have something invited to you.
That's a good point.
That's
a good perspective.
It's like you really have to dive deep down in, because, you could be the shittiest person on earth and be like, oh, I pray to God every day. I pray to God. I pray to God.
Right.
But if you're not doing that internal work, what is
Yeah.
really going to come to you?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like you have to really work on here and here and just really like pull your shit together
Yeah.
and be like, okay, like I can do this. I can accept this. I can move on. I can do all these different things, because if I don't do it, no one's going to do it for you.
Absolutely.
Do you know? And
do.
then along the way, be a decent individual.
Yeah.
Be a good human.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the way you get things to come to you. Honestly.
Like manifesting.
Yeah. Manifestation.
Manifesting.
And grounding yourself.
Yeah. Finding
De-
those healthy ways to
Yeah.
ground yourself.
And ground yourself. Absolutely. I believe in that 100% is self-grounding.
Yeah.
So I liked what Kiki said.
I love that you're calling her
It's
Kiki.
it's like, she became one with herself, right? Identifying who she is and how she is to become better. And it helped her to have a closer relationship with God. But like she said, she had to have that first, self-reflection of herself, to work through herself and the things that she's going through, to help her to be where she's at today, right or wrong.
Definitely. Yeah. You definitely have to be close to you and know you. Know what you don't like. Know what you don't want. Know what you want. And get off your ass and get it.
Yeah. I love that.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but part of our podcast is about family relationships
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I
Yep.
she probably did tell her. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's good to dive into some things like this, because, it also helps out stylists,
Absolutely.
because everyone's going through some things in their life outside
For
of trying
sure.
to become a hairstylist. And I think it's pretty cool that, you're going to be an architect and then you ended up doing the...
I mean, I still think about like whipping those men into shape from
Oh, yeah?
the trailer.
Oh, yeah?
I would be a great foreman.
Yeah.
Forewoman, whatever you.
Is that Italian blood in you?
I don't know.
that
I just like to boss people around a lot.
I love it.
boss
I'm
chick?
like boss
Well,
babe.
I feel like this has been an hour-long podcast, one of the longest episodes ever. I'm so thankful that I got to meet you, Nicole.
Me
I hope
too.
to get to know you more.
Absolutely.
Maybe doing dinner at your house.
And hands-on education.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love
Absolutely.
that. I mean, I can never stop learning.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Maybe
before we go,
I can get you to re-love what you don't what
I
you
know.
didn't love.
Yes.
You never know.
So before we go, one thing about this podcast that we like to do
Yes.
is we like to help raise you up, because something I talked to Meredith about before is that you can see the competitive thing going on in the salon industry with working with other stylists, and it's like people like they say, oh, it's not competitive, but it kind of is, right? So what we like to do is make it non-competitive.
Yes.
To say that, we
Absolutely.
appreciate what you do. You bring something, to the table, and we want, people out there to be able to find you and use your services. Also, there might be a younger stylist out there that might just want that mentor, and it sounds like you would be someone
Absolutely.
that's hands-on.
Reach
So-
out to me and
So my question is, can you tell us or tell the people out there how could they find you, your address or, your social media platforms or a number, all that good stuff so they can find you?
Okay, so You can find me on personally with it's at Nicole Maria on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. And then my website is theeditbeautylounge.com. And then that same platform on social media is _beauty lounge.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. So, and then the same thing on Facebook, the Edit Beauty Lounge there. And then my phone number and the address, we're at the Promenade Shops, is all linked in there. And if, I'm open to giving hands-on, one-on-one education. I just did a salon in New Jersey for a friend, and she was super grateful. And I mean, they're up off the ground and running. So it's like, and
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's
you know
amazing.
what I mean? And I'm not just the kind of person that's like, okay, here's your education. You can always come back to me and be like, hey, Nicole, I have a question.
Right.
Like, can you help me out with this? And, even girls that we work with in the suites, they're like, listen, I want to pick your brain about something.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm fine with that. I love that. Like, come to me. I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to see everybody win.
I'm
Because
the
there's
same way.
enough people for
agree.
everybody to win.
I agree.
So, and
I
it's
agree.
like, and that's the one good thing about where we are is we have such a good circle of salons where we are that I don't feel like there's a competition between any single one of us.
I agree.
Because so many people are like, oh, how is it to work in the suites? Like, there has to be so much competition.
No, it's not
and I'm
like
like
that.
It's really not.
It's
because
not.
there's so many different people. There's different clients. There's, there's people for
I agree.
every salon.
I agree.
And if I can't get somebody in, maybe somebody else can, we're constantly all like, we're sharing our wealth. You know what I mean?
I
We're
agree.
sharing
The knowledge,
the knowledge,
time.
the expertise, the time, and it's just like, and that's a place that makes me proud to work in.
I agree. Yeah, I came from a very toxic environment.
That
so
makes me really proud to be able to work in somewhere like that where
I agree.
Other business owners can be like, I'm confident in you to be able to take this for me.
I agree.
So she's like the second one, by the way. When I hear a stylist saying that there's enough scalps, I'm sorry, you said that too, like 3. And there's enough scalps to go around, right? And, that's a blessing because, it can get toxic. There's a stylist that I believe that have insecurities. They have egotistical insecurities that they work through, and they bring their vomit to the salons and they project onto other people. So you guys got to stop doing that.
And what the other really good thing about that is the FTC just banned non-compete. So
Yes. That's
I heard that,
amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So
FTC, what is that?
the Federal Trade Commission.
Okay.
So there's no more non-competes.
Good. It shouldn't
So
be like
it
that.
should really
Seriously.
buckle up
Like,
a
let
lot of
people
the
do what they
salon
want.
owners that cap freedom.
Yeah, that's
within the
their
salon.
own insecurities,
Yeah,
and
for
it's a
sure.
control thing. Anyway, along with what Nicole said, she's located, just like myself, she's located at Elite Salons and Suites. Her salon is the Edit Beauty Lounge. The address is 3060 Center Valley Parkway, Center Valley, PA, 18034.
Yep.
Yes.
18034. Thank you again, Nicole, so much.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to have you
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
Thank you. And
It was a pleasure.
that's a wrap.
Cool.